How's it going? So, yeah, it's been a fucking long time and I've been meaning to do a vlog. It wasn't so much that I really had things I needed to be doing as much as it was just I had things that were perfectly good reasons not to do one. I had all these good reasons. Mostly it's been hot. It's still fucking hot now. You know, fuck Australia, really. Just fuck it right in the ass. So, PAX happened, and that was fun. I went to PAX. I actually got to the airport and I bumped into my friend Bob and Gray, and Bob's friend, whose name I've forgotten. I bumped into them. They were on the same flight as me, the like 11:30 at night one. So we all went, and we got to Melbourne at like 6:30 in the morning.
Say hello.
None of our hotels or anything are open yet. We're trying to find some breakfast and we don't know where anything is. I think I've never been to a cafe where the people working there looked like they wanted to kill themselves as much as this cafe. Yeah.
I had this idea that I would do a vlog every day that I was there, which is a really fucking stupid idea. Yeah, it was fucking so much fun. We went straight to PAX actually, and Jacob Janerka was like calling me, he's like, can you come right now, because he had this old CRT monitor hooked up and he was going to have the game play, one of the parts of his game or whatever, playing on it. So he needed to find like HDMI to S video converter or something. Yeah, but like that ended up working and it sorted itself out. That was pretty stressful at first. And then Louis, who I was staying with, had his bar, I guess, or his bar, or he or whatever, had like a really big booth on the floor, and he just had like a bunch of couches and beanbags and then like a couple of screens, and he was just rotating the games on the screens like every day.
So fucking tired. I'm so tired. He's playing it later. It's pretty good people watching. I don't even know I'm filming them. They just keep going round and round.
You should have gone and like interviewed people who liked that game that you hated.
What, Watch Dogs?
Yeah.
I go interview the developers. I'll be like, so what have you improved from Watch Dogs 1? I've got a list of things that should have been improved. Number 1, everything. Hey!
I'm gonna sit down for like a second.
That's what they all say. I'm cosplaying as a game developer. But yeah, you want to know the problem with Watch Dogs?
What's up?
It's shit. There are people queuing up to play Forza Horizon 3. And it's already out. Just go and buy the game.
Which was cool. He put my game, Centrelink Simulator, on the Sunday, and that was really cool. I was so fucked on the Friday, I actually just went out and I just passed out on the lawn outside the exhibition centre. I think if you kind of passed out dressed okay, people don't think you're homeless, so that seemed alright, no one bothered me. You walk around PAX a bit and you're like, you've seen everything. But then I went and I got some like vitamin C pills from a nearby pharmacy, because I hadn't slept for like 2 days prior to that either because of portfolio. And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? There's a party tonight. But that was cool. I had like a coffee or something and we went to the party and it was all good. But yeah, the first day I didn't really do anything at PAX because I was just so fucking tired. I kind of walked around and I like looked at things, but I didn't play anything because I just didn't want to like line up. You know, it was just like, oh, you know. That finished at 6, and then Andy Brophy, who's making Knuckles Sandwich, and Louis was involved as well, and they put on this like cool warehouse party in Brunswick. So me and Louis went to that. Rami Ismail was there, and I like drunkenly walked past him and did like a double take, but like a drunk double take, so it was just like, oh yeah, we'll get... What? Rami Ismail? And he's like, yeah, my name's Rami Ismail, because that's how he talks. And then I avoided him for the rest of the night because I was really embarrassed and drunk. Ian McClarity was there as well when he had this like game, and he was like, do you want to play to something right now? And I'm like, yeah, sure. But check out his stuff too. He made this game called Catacombs. It's on itch.io. After that, we went home and we didn't know how Uber worked. So we thought we could like get an Uber and then just kind of like drop someone off and then swap the Uber over to like someone else's Uber account. But that doesn't work like that. So we ended up catching like 4 Ubers because every time we dropped someone off, everyone had to get out of the car and then call another Uber. So getting home took like 2 hours because we had to drop all these people off. Oh, well, the next day I woke up at about midday. I actually looked at stuff that day. Gunsloth. They're like a bunch of students. They're like graduating at the end of this year, I think. Well, they fucking should be because they're done. They had this game called Gyro Mag, but I have to think about it every time I say it. I don't know, it's not that it doesn't even roll off the tongue, it's just something about it, just I have to think about it every time I say it. I don't know. It's like old, like Quake Arena style, like FPS. It's got like gravity changing powers, like Gravity Rush. It feels so amazing. It's a really good game. Everyone go and check it out. So The Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti, that was there. I backed them on Kickstarter, but then they didn't get funded for some crazy fucking reason. But that game's really good. Everything was pretty good. Like, there were a bunch of things, but I don't want to just like list off a whole bunch of things that I'm like, oh yeah, that was alright. Like, I wanted to be like, the things that I'm like, really like blew me away and I'm going to buy it like day one. So yeah, Gyromag, Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti. The Return of the Obra Dinn. That's by Lucas Pope, who made Papers, Please. That looks really cool, but you know, kind of people already knew about that game. It's going to be amazing. There was a bunch of VR stuff. That's the weird thing about VR is it takes up so much room. You can only have like one booth, you know? There was just fucking lines for it. I didn't want to line up. Oh, there was I think it's called The American Dream. That was a VR game that looked really cool. You know, one of those kind of like wacky, funny VR games where it's like, hey, look, you're just, you know, knocking everything over kind of thing. But you just use guns to do everything. So your 2 like hands are just like handguns. In terms of AAA stuff, I played Gravity Rush 2's demo. They turn the damage on those demos so far down that you can't die, and they're really kind of basic. And like they turn the damage you're dealing to enemies up and stuff, so it's just like really easy. So when you've got an action game, which is what it is, you know, you just end up kind of just steamrolling through it, and it's not fun because those games are just, you know, they're meant to be a challenge. So it seems a little bit stupid to do that, but I guess you don't want the punters to just constantly be dying and getting frustrated with your game. But then in the end, no one was fucking playing it anyway because they had it hidden away in these really stupid little booths that were hard to see. So I don't know. It's kind of that's kind of like part of like the larger problem I found with all the big AAA stuff. So Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft were all there. Nintendo did not give a flying fuck about doing anything at all. They had the biggest booth, I think, and they just had this massive fucking screen that was just doing Smash Bros tournaments, and then they had like a bunch of booths with fucking Mario Kart 8. They had like Link's like Master Sword in like, you know, like King Arthur style, like in a rock, and you could like take a photo trying to pull it out. And I just like sat there for a little while watching it, just hoping some kid would just like like just kind of like wiggle it and just like snap it off because it was just like fucking styrofoam or whatever. Pokemon comes out in less than a month and they didn't have the fucking demo, which was like free and like on the eShop or whatever. They didn't even have the Zelda game, which was at E3. Sony's booth was smaller. They had a bunch of PlayStation VR stuff, like the Batman game and stuff. So that was dumb. And then, what else was there? There was a big South Park Fractured Butthole booth, and that had the biggest line I've ever seen. Didn't bother lining up. Microsoft had Dead Rising. No, they didn't have Dead Rising. What did they have? I didn't even look. My friend's game was on there. Bramble Lash. They had a little booth at Microsoft. They had a booth themselves, and then they had a little kiosk thing at Microsoft, one of the booths. Fuck, it's hot. Just the big companies just didn't really care, I don't think. I mean, PlayStation was cool because they had the VR stuff, which that was a big thing at this one. Was there was just tons of VR stuff, lots of indie VR stuff as well. So yeah, if you were like wanting to try out a bunch of VR, firstly see if you liked VR and then decide which one you wanted to buy, this was good for that because there was enough that you could have tried every headset, so that was cool. Oh, Desync as well, that was really cool. That's published by Adult Swim. Some guys from Melbourne are making that. And it's like a low poly first person shooter. It looks very like vaporwave kind of aesthetic. It's really pretty cool. So that was pretty cool. And then yeah, on Saturday night I went out, and my uncle lives in Melbourne, and we got really drunk just around Smith Street. And Sunday I spent the morning on Sunday just kind of hanging around Melbourne doing stuff. And then I went into PAX. But then on Sunday there was the after party for the whole thing, and it was like mega dev, and we totally bought tickets and got in, so don't even bother looking into it. We went to that party and that was really cool. Ron Gilbert was there, and I awkwardly like said hello to him. I pretended like I didn't know who he was, and now it's blatantly obvious I do know who he was, so that was kind of stupid. We went back to Bar SK, which is Louis' bar, and that was really cool. Yeah, we got really drunk. I got really drunk like every night of the week. Oh yeah, and on like Sunday, everyone starting to get a little bit ill as well. And yeah, I was like, someone was like, oh, feeling a bit, thinking of getting a cold, and I was like, oh, I've got something, and I whip out of my just out of my fucking pocket, this like vitamin C stuff, and I was like, here you go, and he's like, just rightly reacted with, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm just like, what? You've never gone to a gaming convention and just offered people vitamin C and zinc pills before? That was funny. I felt a little bit weird. But I mean, it's a nice thing to do. I was offering someone something that might have eased their pain. But yeah, I was the only person who didn't get sick. So there you go. You should have taken my pills. Oh, Izzy, I don't remember her last name. Izzy. She's making a game, I think it's called Space Princess. Oh my god, Izzy, I'm so sorry, I've forgotten the name of your game. But I'll leave a link in the description. I'll find what it's called and I'll leave a link. She introduced me to Catherine Cross, who I'd read her writing, but I didn't really like remember her name and stuff. She wrote for Gama Sutra, and she was writing this article, writing all this stuff about like the history of it and everything, and then she's like, oh, the only things I saw that were like really took advantage of like the setting of Australia and were very like Australian, outwardly Australian, is like, oh, it was this game by Oscar Brittain called Centrelink Simulator, and I was like, oh my god. It's really cool. I was very thankful for that. That was really nice. But yeah, I just met a whole bunch of friends, really. That was really cool. And now I'm kind of sad that I'm back in Perth, and I want to move to Melbourne, so that'll probably be happening. I'm not like anti-Perth like a lot of people seem to be. Like, I don't really like Perth anymore, but I'm not like, oh shit, everyone needs to move. Yeah, it was just fun. I just had a really fun time. It was kind of mad on the last day, or the 9th is when I left, with that whole thing that happened in America on the 8th. And we had to watch the like live feed of that at the bar with all of these like American expats, which was kind of a downer to leave on. And that's sort of the reason I haven't wanted to do this video, because I didn't want to like do a video and just rant about that. But I'm kind of over it now. But yeah, I was kind of getting a little bit irritated by how much everyone was talking about it for a while. We might leave it at that. I might need to cut some stuff with this video, but yeah, take it easy. I'll probably do another video in a couple of days just talking about something else, because this has just been a long rambling one. But yeah, take it easy.